Hello, I am Hyper G, and I'm here with Lucky Sixes.
Ciao?
That's bye, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Ciao.
Right, that's it for the video. Yeah, it's gone. Okay, so Proxy Table Gaming is here with a introduction to the Wooden Spoon Cup.
Yes.
Which we're very excited to announce. This is all from a forum post which Lucky Sixes created a little while ago, and we've been asking for your help in coming up with a pretty nifty idea of, like it says on the tin, a wooden spoon cup.
Yeah.
So generally, if you get the wooden spoon in something, it means you've come last.
Yeah.
So not overly good.
Yeah. So yeah, a bit of background to this. Saw a post from Blombeer a little while ago, just saying about he was going to a tournament, was looking for the supposedly worst unit in the game to bring and do an army around it. There is a link to it if you want to have a look at that.
Yeah.
But it got me thinking, while we're in a period of lots of changes for the hotfix and different iterations and things, it might be quite fun to actually look at those units that are meant to be
suboptimal, less likely to be taken,
and those ones up for fixing. Actually, can we use them as they are now to actually be quite good and effective, and to explore what is meant to be bad in each army?
Yeah, because when this new current game version came out, obviously everyone is playing this game predominantly to win their battles, which means people will choose the best units. They'll skip over the not-so-good units, and that could potentially mean that the not-so-good units, not so much feedback is received by the 9th Age committees.
Yeah, well, I mean, whether or not any of this gets actually used in things, it'd be great if it did.
It would be great,
but yeah, it would just
no guarantees or anything, you know.
Yeah.
We haven't been promised that the units we use are going to get buffed.
Completely I think, as a disclaimer.
Yeah,
but yeah, just a bit of fun, something to do during the period where everything's getting sorted out.
Transition phase.
Oh, very nice.
Nice.
Until 9th Age Gold or whatever it's going to be called.
Gold, Platinum,
yeah. Supreme. But yeah,
so talk to me about the rules of the tournament.
Okay,
so you came up with this idea,
yeah,
and you came up with the rules,
yeah, without a committee, purely my own crazy mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, what we're looking at, they're on the forum, and again, all the things of how we come up with the lists are on there and stuff. But predominantly, we had 3,000 point lists, so we're not the biggest ones, but just to see if we can get the units in there. All the normal restrictions. Maximum 1 mage and no masters. We want magic in there because it's a big part of the game, but we don't want it to dominate these lists, which could potentially happen. I mean, we don't want a unit with 4 buffs on it because of magic.
No,
because it doesn't really tell us about anything about the unit. So we want the list.
You could have the worst unit in the world, but with 4 magic spells on it,
it's going to be yeah. So we want magic in there. We appreciate it's quite important, but we don't want it to over.
Don't want to steal the show, do we?
Yeah. Units that we're going to pick are considered, or have picked, are considered the ones that are the least effective or terrible, overpriced, or just
wrong numbers.
Just wrong numbers, yeah. Or aren't often seen for maybe for no reason at all. So we're trying to use those sorts of units and everything. Wildcard entry is exactly that. So it's one of those where you don't often see it on paper. It looks great and everything, but for whatever reason, it doesn't get picked, or
maybe it doesn't fit the synergy of the army. Or something like that, yeah.
So that's in there. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad one, but isn't this the most optimal one?
Yep.
Characters are the same, so they're not the most optimal list picks, but we don't want to pick characters that are rubbish.
No.
And make them rubbish with items and things, which leads them on to the last one there, where characters and items have less restrictions, especially items, because we want to try and buff up those units using characters and items.
Yeah.
So all in all, if we scroll down, we've got an example
list that you came up with when you posted.
Mantra.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
And this is an example list. It's not the final version of Highborn Elves that made it to the tournament.
No.
But this was the example that you began with.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed much since the final version.
So if we sort of talk through the list, it's got a mage as the general. That is seen, but it's not often seen on a Reaver chariot.
No.
Mainly because that was changed to only have 3 wounds, so you're not actually gaining wounds by being on a chariot.
Which is usually what you get from a chariot.
Abnormal. So that's why that's on there. It's a suboptimal pick, but mage can be used as a general.
A mage as Wizard Adept is still very useful.
Yeah. Commander with the Fleet Officer is in there, and he's in with the Sea Guard, which
well, start with the Fleet Officer is very rarely seen as a character build.
Anyway.
So that's why that gets in there.
And obviously Sea Guard are meant to be the
most talked about.
Yeah.
Not to be taken Highborn Elf core.
Predominantly pricey for price reasons, but there are others as well, in that it's maybe just not as effective to have one big unit Sea Guard rather than spears and archers, whatever.
Yeah.
But the Fleet Officer is meant to be in there, and the Navigator's Banner is predominantly used for Sea Guard fluff-wise, so let's stick them all together, see if they can be useful.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about why the Lancers are in there, because they actually were the ones that got cut from the final list.
Yeah. So that was good. And another one there on the list, the one that stands out is the five-man unit of Giant Eagles, which sort of epitomises the whole, I said project, but tournament, if you will. There's an option for 5
Giant Eagles, but why on earth would you take more than one?
No one... I don't ever see more than one out there, but there is an option for it. So actually, could there be a role for that unit?
Yeah, we're going to see how it does.
Let's explore that. Maybe not, but 260 points. Why not try it?
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking for. Is that sort of unit that actually Giant Eagles are used loads, but in a 5 they're not. So let's explore that. It's a bit of fun.
The rest of this probably just fits in itself. We don't need to talk about it individually.
Yeah.
But your wild card is the Sky Sloop.
Yeah, and this one, just because I don't ever use a Sky Sloop, but I know that it's good.
Yeah, so Sky Sloop gets a lot of good praise, which is why we're having to call it a wild card. But every list does get the option of a wild card for this reason. And we wanted to see it in action, basically.
Yeah, like you said, it got commented on and changed ever so slightly, the list. So, and that was the type of list we were going for and what we were trying to achieve for this. And I say achieve very loosely. Because it was just a bit of fun.
It is a bit of fun, but we have been going at this post for a couple of weeks, I think.
A month, I think. Nearly.
About a month, is that great? And the amount of support and engagement we've had from the people on the forum is incredible.
Yeah.
Obviously, we set out the rules for this and asked for the forum to help us out with making lists for all the 16 armies. We've had loads of help in doing so. We've got our 16 armies now, haven't we?
Yeah. We hardly did many lists, actually.
We didn't do many. You managed to get through the Highborn Elves list.
Yeah.
I managed to get through the Saurian Ancient lists, and I think I got through... what else did I get through? Empire. I got Empire through. And we've given the names to the people who created them. And we're going to... Our second video in this series is going to be the draw for the tournament itself.
The actual draw, yeah. So looking forward to it. We're really looking forward to the next few... next battles, and that'll be a lot of the battle reps from this will be to do with the Wooden Spoon Cup. Check out the forum, because it's a really good read, and it's really it's a really light read as well about all the units and things.
And how the lists were brought together.
Yeah.
A lot of discussion on that, and one thing we do need to mention is obviously opinions are different between people. So, like we said, we've made it a bit of fun. So some people might disagree with some of the choices. Some people might think, well, why haven't you included that? That's rubbish. We can't put everything in.
That'd be for the next tournament.
Yeah, I mean, this could be an annual tournament.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And we want to find hidden gems as well from this, and hopefully we will.
Maybe we're starting the next 5 Giant Eagles fad.
Hey, we're trendsetters.
Yeah, that is going to be in everyone's tournament list. Maybe 3 units of it. What's the maximum amount of Giant Eagle units you can take?
I don't think there is a cap.
Is there not?
They're special.
Well, there we go. Brilliant. Okay, cool. I think that's enough of talk about the tournament.
Yeah, we won't run on too much. There'll be loads of other videos. There'll be loads more chat on the thread. And so, like, subscribe, and all that to keep up to date. And check out our thread for
more content. And thank you very much for your support. As always, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been really good.
Okay, right. We'll see you in the next video.
See you later.